first off, I'd like to thank Dr. Wojcik for that very warm introduction. Your words are very kind, sir, and I'm very humbled and grateful for your presence here this evening. And from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you, each and every one of you, for being here to support a cause which is very near and dear to my heart, quite literally. Now, I know some of you are wondering to yourself, why is there a bald Neanderthal-looking Marine up there at the microphone, and what happens to the real guest speaker for tonight? Well, I got to be honest, I was kind of hoping for Celine Dion, maybe Tom Hanks myself. But no, it's just me. And I'm not sure why they gave me the microphone tonight, but I can certainly tell you why it is that I want to get here tonight. And it's because of her. Jacqui, my wife, my heart, my everything. Jacqui couldn't be here tonight. That's just one of the precautions as part of living with cystic fibrosis. But one thing Jacqui and I decided on very early on in our marriage was that we would fight our natural desires to keep our fighting in CF a private one, and instead share our story in ways that might help others. So I hope I do her story justice tonight. You see, I met Jacqui 15 years, 136 days ago, give or take a couple hours in a few time zones. And before I even had a chance to meet her, I knew two things about her. One, that she was the hottest chick on campus, for which my brother was right for the first time in his life. And that two, she'd probably be dead before she was 25. Now, I was a young, single man at the time. I kind of focused on the first part. But the second part became quickly relevant, as within a few minutes of meeting Jacqueline, I completely, utterly, and irrevocably lost my heart. You see, Jacqui was and is, hands down, the strongest, most beautiful, most resilient person I've ever met on the face of this earth. Now, what part of her resilience and strength and her beauty came from a life spent fighting CF, to this day I don't know. But I've seen other people, rough and tough, battle-tested Marines, manly men, who have caved in, imploded upon their own souls at far less than she's been through. But not my Jacqui. And despite constant infections and hospitalizations, despite an endless stream of blood draws, IV pokes and PICC lines that have left scars up and down her arms, despite pushing IV antibiotics to a PICC line in the cab of a U-Haul trailer on the highway as we moved across country, true story, despite taking countless pills every day just to eat, despite insulin shots, nebulizer treatments, vest treatments, percussive therapy, despite the pulmazine, hypertonic saline, Toby, Casein, and a dozen other meds that routinely populate our refrigerator at home. Despite the mental anguish of always knowing that the average life expectancy of a CFer gets relentlessly closer with each passing birthday. Despite seeing friends go through double lung transplants, some more than once. Despite losing friends. Despite seeing children who are far too young lose their fighting in CF. Despite every reason to be otherwise, my angel has remained positive, spirited, determined, and a beacon of light in my life. Now, in many ways, Jacqui's been lucky. First, she was lucky to have a mother who was not only a nurse, but who refused to accept a terrible prognosis. She's been lucky to have good doctors, amazing, caring, compassionate doctors who have made all the difference in our lives. And she's been lucky more than once to be in the right place at the right time to participate in a breakthrough clinical trial that has offered either a new lease on life or a breathtaking new hope. But she's also been lucky because behind the scenes there has been an amazing group of people working on her behalf. And it is to that group, the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, that I owe a tremendous debt of gratitude and one I will never be able to repay. The CF Foundation's unwavering focus, drive, innovation, and utter refusal to leave any stone unturned in the fight against this disease awes me. I have seen firsthand how they coordinate and amplify the efforts of the committed group of scientists, researchers, doctors, nurses, pharmacists, pharmaceutical companies, medical device companies, and a whole host of other people to coordinate their fight against CF. I've seen Jacqui's health improve. They have pioneered and implemented innovative protocols and treatment methodologies. And it is for all of these efforts that I owe everything. For without the CF Foundation and all they do and have done, I would not have my family. I would not have my wife. And I certainly would never have met my two sons. I mean, our boys were never supposed to be born, not to a CF. Jacqui was never supposed to leave the hospital as an infant. They told her she'd never go to kindergarten. She certainly wasn't supposed to go on to graduate high school or go to college. And she was never, ever supposed to marry a Marine. In fairness, that might have been her dad who said that. And no one ever would have supposed that she'd live long enough or be healthy enough to give birth to our two beautiful, amazing, crazy little boys, Aiden and Hunter. But time has taken its toll. Jacqui's lung function hovers around 50% right now. That's like you or I trying to breathe on one lung. Try it. Try walking up a flight of stairs. Try bringing in the groceries. Try chasing your children. Try chasing your dreams when you struggle just to breathe. And just as Jacqui struggles to breathe and stay healthy, I struggle too. I struggle with the fact that my Marine Corps career might outlast my marriage. I struggle to understand how I'll live without my heart. And I've struggled with how my boys will deal with their mother's disease. And how they'll stay grounded without their mother to anchor them. And one day I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't just sit on the sidelines and hope for things to get better. And I'd taken up running several years ago, inspired by the notion that if there ever came a time when Jacqui might need part of my lungs to replace hers, that mine would be strong enough and healthy enough to be a viable option for her. But now I wanted to do more, to raise support and awareness for children. But really, I wanted to inspire Jacqui, to show her in some small way just how committed I was to being with her every step of the way. And so I dreamt up this crazy notion, and I called it the 65 miles for cystic fibrosis. And we also called it the 65 miles for 60 fibrosis for the very reason you heard earlier today. And at first, I only envisioned it being me, running around for 65 miles like an idiot, however long that took, to experience for just one day what breathing was like for her every day. And I hope by that small token of solidarity, to show her my commitment to be with her every step of the way, no matter what that meant. And to show her that I would never quit, and to inspire her to do the same. But it turned into much, much more than that. And it's become more successful than I ever dreamt possible. The turnout in runners and in people's generosity has been more than I ever hoped for. And the tremendous response has touched and inspired Jacqui in a way that is priceless, sublime, and worth every drop of sweat. So in 3 weeks from today, on October 12th, I'll run the third annual 65 miles for 65 roses down in Mission Bay Park. And I intend to keep repeating it until I run my body into the ground, or we cure this disease. You see, the one thing I've learned over the course of the past several years is it's not a matter of finding a cure for CF. Science can and will do that. It's a matter of funding a cure. And that's where we come in. You see, CF is an orphan disease. And I cannot tell you how anguishing it is to watch CF-driven research lead to breathtaking breakthroughs, only to see that research and science taken away to more lucrative diseases. Which is why I'm so inspired by and grateful for the innovative partnership the CF Foundation has pioneered, like the one with Vertex, to ensure that CFers have an equal chance for a cure. So I stand here tonight humbly, as a husband and as a father, and I ask you to do what you can to help out. Please be generous. Please be generous tonight. Jacqui will never get the other half of her lung capacity back, no matter how much I run. But if you will double down on your commitment and your generosity to helping fund a cure, then perhaps we can help keep others from suffering that same fate. So again, I challenge you, double down on life. Bid high tonight. Add a zero to that check you were going to write if you can. Help us maintain the momentum in the quest for a cure. And if you got some free time on October 12th, I'd be very humble and incredibly honored if you came out and ran a few miles with me.